you have to shrink the deficit at some point in time because the deficit preempts a lot of savings. Okay, and I mean, you're more an economist than I am. And just in simple terms, even if we have to achieve the growth rates which you said and Rana thinks we'll get there 1 year earlier, which I think we will, given the demand, given the entrepreneurship, where is the local capital for that? The savings do get preempted because the government has to finance its own deficit. So that's number one. Again, I don't have an answer for it. Second is, if you can release those savings, okay, I think then the businesses like asset management, long-term liquidity with banks, which is the real savings and current accounts, local savings that come into the market through AIFs, all these innovations have happened, but the supply of long-term sustainable savings is limited to an extent. It's the same 10 big institutions, few banks, few families. You have to make it far more widespread, and you don't have to go further away than countries like Malaysia who have done it so. I think that's very, very critical from my perspective. Otherwise, the financial system, although well-architectured, well-governed, and well-run and well-meaning, is actually not that strong. So now come to private equity. We guys represent foreign money. I mean, let's face it, they're foreign savings. So in a way, between venture capital and private equity, we are seeing a flood of deals, a flood of opportunities driven by great entrepreneurs. And because of the saving investment gap and not the ability to have enough kinds of savings for the local opportunities, pre-IPOs, IPOs, mezzanine, stress, distress, growth capital, we are able to obviously play a pretty significant role. And from our point of view, India is in a great macro spot. It wouldn't have been better. Again, there are issues we don't need to get in now. But if you just take even a 5-year view, this is a place where you would put your money. So look, I think we have an important role to play, but just being an Indian and putting on my Indian hat, I think a few things need to get fixed if you want the right financial system in the long run, and you want local savings to fund local growth. So local deficit is being funded by local savings, but local growth is being funded by foreign savings, and that's something we have to think about in the long run, not from a very Indian perspective, but just long-term sustainability, which means muni bond markets, local bond markets, local mezzanine funds, local AIFs, local AMCs, but funded by local savings.